Hi Flosstube, Felicity here from Flissy Fizz Cross Stitches, back with another video today. Today is the 27th of June 2020 and I'm up to number 22 in my videos. I can't believe it, and I'll just be able to get through some videos, and I'm hoping that I am able to film more this year. I know that I didn't film as many as I wanted to last year, things got away from me, so I'm hoping that this year I can continue to film some more videos and actually get back on track with a bit more of a schedule, even if it means I don't have quite a lot to show. But yeah, so a bit of a life update for me is that we are coming to the end of term 2 in South Australia, so this coming week is our last week of school, and good news is that I had my contract extended to the end of the year, so that means I get to teach the same classes all the way through to the end of the year. I've also been picking up some relief work too because I'm not quite full time. But yeah, no, really enjoying that, liking the school I'm at. Sometimes some days are hard. We were at the beginning of this term, we did do like flexible learning, like learning online for a week, but then our cases have been actually quite low in South Australia. I think we haven't had any for about 4 weeks, so we're doing really well. So we've actually been back to face-to-face regular schools for most of this term. And as far as I can tell, that's going to continue all the way through to the end of the year. Might change if we get more cases, but at the moment we're just sticking with regular face-to-face teaching. From there, we're actually in the first week of the holidays. We're actually going to take a little mini holiday, just a bit of a time out down to Goolwa. Goolwa's about 50 minutes away from where I live, and it's a lovely beach country town. My aunt and uncle actually live down there, so we'll catch up with them. And yeah, so it's not too far away. We're still staying within our own state. We'll probably just be chilling at the resort there, maybe going out to Victor Harbour for just have a look around, or just go for walks on the beach. Again, catching up with my aunt and uncle, as I said, but just having some time where we can get away but also just relax, and I'm really looking forward to that. So we leave Friday, our time starts, so I still have to work because it's the last day of school. So Mum and Dad will head down first, and then I'll head down after school finishes in the afternoon. And I plan to stitch, really plan to stitch. Then the second week of the holidays, I think it's like that middle weekend for me, we have the Frogworks retreat that was supposed to be run over in Missouri by Lara and Katie. However, due to, again, the virus, it's going to be digitally. Chloe and I had actually originally decided we weren't actually going to go, but we did buy the retreat in a box. And even though we did that, they've invited us to, everyone who did bought the retreat in a box, to have a digitally run retreat. I was a part of the Show Me retreat that was held in April, so that was in our other school holidays. And oh my god, that was so much fun. Like, I enjoyed that so much. And one of my previous videos to this one here, Chloe and I did an unboxing of the Show Me retreat, and so go back and check that out now. It's actually up on both of our channels, but we filmed it together. So one of the things from the box there that I really love is this mug. It says sip, stitch and repeat. I have just a little bit of coffee in that moment, and it's actually still really warm. Tried to start this video a couple of times and it still hasn't even cooled down at all, so it's still nice, really warm. Another one of my favourite things from the Show Me retreat box is this lovely quilted bag, which I plan on using to put a lot of threads in, and this homemade needle minder, and it actually has my name on it. So you've got the bead there, and you can see it has my name in the middle. You can see it's like on a hoop with a needle, and there's even got the top of the hoop up here. I haven't actually quite used it yet, but I am planning to, and I cannot wait. I find it is ridiculously hard to find anything with my name on it, even like going to stores like cups or key rings and things like that. So to actually have them make it and actually do it like that is so special. So my previous video was the 25th of April, so that was my basically a whip parade that I had done from the beginning of the year. I hadn't filmed since December, so I did like a whip parade of everything I had worked on which was basically all my whips and also a couple of starts. Then Chloe and I actually filmed a tag video, so I'll put link towards that in the description below. With the tag, it was kind of like half is on Chloe's channel, so we did Chloe's half first, and then we also did another tag and filmed it on my channel, so I'll make sure I'll link to both of those. Go and check them out, and then of course the Show Me Retreat in a Box. But that's basically what I've been up to so far. And I've been stitching. I've also been doing a lot of knitting, so this video today is going to be about cross stitch. I've got some knitting, and then just general chat. Again, I always keep to remember to say this, but I do appreciate every one of you who has subscribed to my channel. I thank you for that, and I hope that people continue to subscribe. And again, I'd really like to try and get back onto a more regular basis of filming rather than every 2 months. Maybe if it means I might try a vlog style and see if that could actually work. If you think maybe a vlog style and you'd be happy to see that, let me know. I'm always happy to answer any questions and comments. Alright, so let's start with whips. So this is being held in my Love You More Studio Co sleeve, which are really great for like the half size patterns. This one here is Gratitude, and it's a Cotton Garden Samplings. It's the number 12 in the series that came out last year, so it's called Gratitude, and it has the roses as well as the Dark Eye Junico. I've also started doing a different floss system just for like some of the smaller projects. So I made my own floss cards, so these are just cardboard gift tags that I've written the number on, and then I used a hole punch, and I punched a hole in the middle, and then I punched 2 holes on either side. So the way I have it is the one I'm working on for my main strand is here, and if I cut off and have a spare strand, I put it on the other side. Saw that from Jessie Marie's video, who she talked about one of her Stitch Mania videos, where she, like her mania videos, she also looked into her floss storage, and I thought, oh, actually I might just try that out just for the smaller projects. But yeah, so I've actually made quite a bit of progress on this. I'll make sure I insert a photo of where I was up to last year. So, last time. This is again Gratitude. I started it this year on the 1st of January, so it was my new year, new start. I'm stitching it on. I'm stitching on 32 count Lugana Golden Touch by Colour Cascades, and actually I'm stitching it over 1, so it's actually nice, quite tiny and quite petite. Look at that tiny little bird. So I think the last time I caught up, I'd done mainly this rosebud and part of the heart and part of the leaf. So I've actually gone down and I've now have the complete bird, and I have part of this filigree leaf coming up here. It's probably easier to show you coming in close. Oh, your Studio Co bags are good for anything, aren't they? Even for backing fabrics. So again, this is on 32 count Lugana. I'm stitching it, crazy of me, stitching it 1 over 1 because I like them to be slightly smaller. Just look at that colour. I decided to do the DMC conversion that was given rather than using the Gentle Arts, I think it was. No, the Weeks die works. So I found it was just easier to pull from stash for DMC. I loved stitching this bird. It's so gorgeous. Can really, oh God. I really love stitching this bird. So here, just putting it up towards the pattern. So actually mine, it's going to be slightly bigger than what we have here in the pattern. I'm going to, next when I pick this up, so I might pick it up soon, depends, I'm going to work up here on finishing off the leaves and those 2 roses up there. So then that means I've got the top quarter done. And that's not far at all, so all I need to do for that top quarter is those 2 flowers. Then I'll work down, I think, and I'll work down around this way because that's easier to do it. So if I work down and around this way, it'll be easier, and then work back up again But no, I'm really pleased to have the bird done. I like the way my stitches are lying, stitching it 1/1. I put it into a Q-snap rather than on a frame. And there we go. Yeah, so that's my gratitude. Let me just put this away because I have a kitten who likes to eat thread and it's not great. So Nyla is new to our household. Like, I think I introduced her in one of my previous videos. She does like to chew thread, and oh my god, these are just such a thing to play with. So need to make sure that that goes away, because otherwise, kittens. The other whip that I've been working on again is in my Love You More Studio Co bag, sleeve. This one has all the butterflies on it and the teals and the purples, my absolute favourite. Lara and Katie, I remember, kept it back for me when they managed to find more fabric, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm in love. So in here at the moment I've been storing the Nativity by Cottage Needleworks. This is my only ever like Christmas piece. Not really a big Christmas stitcher, but I do like this pattern, and I do like how it links back to the Nativity. So this is this one here. Sorry, I haven't taken it out of the plastic. Where it says, For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Saviour, which is Christ the Lord. So I think that's just really nice and really pretty. Again, this was a new, from what I showed last time, this was a new start. I started this last year on the 19th of December, so it was 2019. Just look at the colour palette. So this, I've been doing it on a blue. Oops. Just look at this colour palette of the blues and all the purples and the greens and yellows on this fabric. Again, so I've been using the thread drops. I actually quite like using that. I originally pulled this out because of Keisha from the Pattern Queens. She is pregnant and she was having a baby shower sale along. So that was actually on the 20th of June, so started last week. As a part of the sale, you had to stitch anything that had a sheep, that was blue, or anything that you loved. Well, I have blue set up, and on this pattern there are two cute little sheep, one here and one here. So it was perfect, and I really do like this project at the moment. If you want to join along, I'm sure Keisha would love you to join along again with that. There's two hashtags that I've been using at the moment. One of them is the pattern prints sale, because Keisha's having a little boy, and the other one is, I think, is just pattern prints. But what we also surprised her with, so Katie and Lara had organised a virtual baby shower, which was held again last weekend on the 20th of June. And we surprised her with one of those. So I was actually able to get some books and send them directly to Lara rather than having to do international posts, especially during these times. And we all managed to sit. Keisha was on a screen and we all used Zoom. I would be a part of that. For me, it was very early in the morning. It was about 3:30 in the morning. So, but I was really glad to be a part of that. Alright, so this one here is stitched on 32 count Lugana, and it's blue Orchid, and it's from Colour Cascades. And I've done heaps of work since I last showed you. So you can see that I'll put a photo where I was in last time, but I've actually finished the top half of the I finished the top half of the pattern. So it now has For unto you is born this day in the city of David. That's all done. When I finished this at the beginning of the year, because I didn't do actually a lot of work on it, I'd only done these flowers here, the shepherd and the sheep, and I think I'd done the words down here as well. So when I picked it up, I think I only picked it up like Friday last week, and I'd done all of this part here, and I finished off the angel. And then last night I decided, well, actually it's not a lot to go to finish off that top half of the pattern, so I decided to just stitch those 2 palm trees, and oh my god, I love the symmetry in this pattern. But in all honesty, I haven't stitched a lot this week. This week has been now pointy end of the week, as end of the term as I call it, where we, as being a school teacher, we have to do reports. And I got snowed under with lots of marking, and I should have done lots of it before I did and left it till last minute and just created too much stress for myself. So I think I've only worked about probably in total about 4 or 5 days on this piece, because yeah, no, I love it. So again, that's the top half, and I have the bottom half to go. I have a ridiculously large amount of margins on either side because I've done as wide as it is. But yeah, and I'm actually kind of, just to go a little bit into plans for this one, is that I'm going to keep this out at the moment as one of my whips to work on for the next couple of days. And I'm going to see how far and close I can get that to being a finish. Again, we've got the Frogworks retreat coming up soon, and I think it'd be fun to get that at close to being a finish so that I could just put in the last couple of stitches during the retreat and actually have a finish of the retreat. Sorry, my chair is really squeaky. So I think that would be really cool, is to actually have a finish at the retreat. I mean, what else? Who else would have a finish at the retreat? But that's also coming up later. Alright, now I also have 2 other projects that I worked on, but for me they weren't whips. I actually started these in May, so this is kind of like my mania wrap up as well. But I've never been one for starting a project every single day, but looking at what projects I want to start, I might need to do that. But I decided in May I was actually going to start 2 projects, and I talked about them in my last video. Now this one is being held in my project bag that's crafted by Summer. She's actually in Adelaide. I just love this trim and the purple and the batik. So this one here is a new hate. You probably, if we went back to watch my whip parade and watched my whole, you'd hear about my story about ordering 2 pieces of fabric twice. So I had plenty of 25 count easy grid fabric to order for this. Alright, so this is the 20-sided dice. I'll put a photo about here somewhere of what it looks like. It is by Jasmine, Becket, Griffith. And this is just a regular version. It's not a mini, it's not a matte colour. And actually I remember someone actually gifted this pattern to me about 4 or 5 years ago. So it's been in my stash of my digital patterns for a while. Yeah, so I started this on the 1st of May as part of my mania. And I'm stitching it on 25 count Lugana, 1/1, and it's the easy grid. And this is where I'm up to. Well, that's better. So I've managed to get to the bottom of the page at the bottom there. And I'm kind of deciding this time when I'm stitching it, instead of going like just doing a full page and then going down and across. Sorry, coordination, we all know that's not one of my favourites. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go across, so I'll keep my bottom page down here, but I'm going to keep going across and do all of that top page first. And I've been stitching it in the diagonal method, which I'm absolutely loving for this pattern. At the moment there has been not a lot of confetti, it's just been really great basic stitching, and I'm loving it so far. I was meaning to I have tracked the number of stitches I've done on this because I've been using Pattern Keeper for the height, and I meant to write that down and I forgot. But I think I'm at least 2 or 3% in so far already. We can see this is the background and then this is the start of her hair. And I'm just loving it so far. Yeah, but this is what I've done. So I'll give you a nice close-up. I love how the way the stitches are sitting. Sorry, the lighting is a bit iffy because it is at night. Again, of course, I'm parking my threads, but I'm parking them in the next column over. So I normally kind of do the colour down as far as I can. and then I part them rather than doing it in every block. I just find that sometimes a little bit too restricting, but I'm loving what she's looking like so far. It's about slightly wider than Elsa, about 100 more stitches wider than Elsa. I think the pattern is about 450 stitches wide by 500 something down, but she's not as tall as Elsa. I also am not stitched, I stitched Elsa on 22 count, where this one is stitching on 25. But I need to get back to that. I think I'll probably put her back on my frame again soon. I don't know. I've got too many things I want to do that I can't say one thing in particular. I know the one thing I'm definitely going to do is get the Nativity to a nearly finished point. But other than that, I don't really have many plans of what I want to stitch on. Alright, so my next new start, so this is the last new start I've had for this period, and I actually started this with 2 other people. So this is in my Taylor's Oldest Time Beauty and the Beast project bag that I got from, oh, what's it? The lady who does all the Floss Buddies. Floss Buddies. Yeah, I know you're telling me and reading them at the screen, but I can't remember her name. Karina? Bags Plus, that's it, Bags Plus. Oh, that took a while. So it's a nice vinyl bag. So on this side there's actually a final project as well, so I can actually put something in on this side, and on the other I also have a zipped vinyl front. So this is quite a large pattern, but I'm loving it so far. I started this on the started this with Belinda and Vicky. Belinda, who's Aussie Stitcher on YouTube and Instagram, and Vicky, who's our headmistress, Reading and Stitching, again on YouTube and Facebook. We started this on the 20th of May together, and we started Queen Mariposa. Is it Mariposa? By Nora Corbett, or Mirabilia. I just love her. Just look at her dress. Isn't this amazing? And if you know me at all by now, there's butterflies all around that trellis. And she's holding butterflies, and I was just in love. But my lord, she has so many colours. So many colours on the back, and some blends. And there's lots of Mill Hill Beasts. I think I already have the Mill Hills, because I remember a couple of years ago I just bought up a whole heap of Mill Hills. But yeah, she is gorgeous. Now, this is stitched on, again, my fabric is from Colour Cascade. So this is 32 count Lugana by Colour Cascades. And I've kind of had to position her, I had to finical with the position of where she's going to be because of what the colouring in her dress is. So you can probably see I've got quite a lot of margin at the top, but that's because I've had to choose where I want her dress to sit. This is on Colour Angel of the Morning, and I've really only started up the top. So this is what I've done so far. So I've done the border around the outside, and I started to do the part of the trellis. I have a couple of those butterflies completed as well, and I was so happy with what I've done. I think I've managed to put in about 1,500 stitches on her before I put her away. But isn't she, oops, I am sorry, my lack of coordination. Right again. Sorry, my lack of coordination today is just not helping me out. But look at those colours. I love how the trellis is coming out, like the border here is playing off against this fabric. So I've just got a couple of part threads because I'm going to continue to work on this trellis first. But we've got a butterfly. There's actually a butterfly in here that just needs to be back stitched. Butterflies here, one at the top, 2 here. And I'm actually thinking when I put it back on the frame, I'm going to do the back stitch of the butterflies as I go to really make it stand out, because I just love this so far. And you can see this is where compared to where it is. So I've kind of brought the outside border all the way through to the top quarter of the pattern, and then I've started on those butterflies. And the reason why I've started her, because if I put the fabric up like this, you'll see, if I put the fabric up like this, you'll see why I've had too finicky with the fabric. It goes from like a really bluey up the top and then down to this brownish area. So that's why I decided to put all the blues up the top and actually bring the dress down to where the red area is. And I know it will fit because I've counted it out and it will fit. Believe me, it will. It took me a while to actually count it out, but it will fit. Otherwise, I will hate myself later. Alright, so that was all my whips of what I've stitched on in the last 2 months. I'm not too bad. It's been really busy, so I haven't done as much as I would have liked. But I hope to do some more, and let's see what else I can get done. Now is up to stash, and oh my god, stash. Oh dear. Okay, I have quite a lot in front of me. It doesn't look quite a lot. It's also part of my knitting haul is quite a lot as well. But yeah, I was doing so well. Like during all the times we weren't allowed to leave, I was not buying a lot. And the last 2-3 weeks mainly, yeah, it kind of went out the window. So the first thing was I actually won a giveaway, and I never win anything. So this is really lovely. This is from Bags Plus, and it's one of her floss buddies, and this one is the Alice print with Alice in Wonderland and the Drink Me, Eat Me and the keys and the bunny rabbit, and it's one of the 90 floss pockets. So you can put your bobbins in here, you can attach your scissors, put your pen in if you're using a pen. Yeah, and I hear Michelle talk about the 90 pockets all the time. I have the 45 pocket flip, which I use for and as a project bag for Dancing Butterfly Fairy. But you know, I won this, and thank you so much. I absolutely adore this, and I'm going to put all the threads for the 20-sided dice fairy in here and use that instead of using tackle boxes or whatever I use for my bobbins. So I can't wait to use that. So thank you very much. When I saw my name, I'm like, oh my god, I cannot believe it. That was just amazing. And I also bought a whole packet of the, what are they called? Spool things? Thread things that kind of you use to help pin your fabric back, and definitely are very helpful. It takes a while to get used to. But I have a whole bag of them, so I might give some to Chloe. I think I already gave some to Chloe. But yeah, no, I like them. They've been especially working for if you just really need to get fabric out the way. Most of my cross-stitching haul for this time has actually come from one place. And I decided 2 or 3 weeks ago when they had their sale to do an order from Silks for You. So these are a company up in Queensland, and so postage is actually not too bad to get to where I am in South Australia. It also came with this lovely needle minder. Oh, I love that. Look at the purples in it. Isn't it pretty? And so that's her business card. Yeah, so I decided to do some order of some silk. So I've got about 3 here in mind for 3 projects, and then I decided, oh, I like their colours, so I bought some others as well just to try them out. I'm also hoping that I might be able to use some of them for bobbin lace as well. We'll see. Depends on the thickness and how they hold up. Yeah. But while on also perusing their site, I saw that they had some project bags, and I kind of went a little bit down the rabbit hole. So there's this one here, which is a Harry Potter one. And these project bags, they've got the same fabric on the front as they do on the back. And then there's this little cording as a trim, and black star fabric. On the inside though, it's not just a project bag. There's actually another zipper compartment container, like another zipper pocket here, so that if you were traveling, you could actually put like your scissors or your thread in there, and it wouldn't get lost, wouldn't get cut or tangled with anything else. And then you've got this amazing swirly fabric, blue fabric, that just coordinates so well. I know exactly what project is going in here, and I'll talk about more of that in plans. But I love this, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And the price is, for what the amount of workshop that's done in there, is amazing. I was really happy with the price, and when the Australian store opens again, I will definitely go and look at some more bags, because I got a lot of projects I want to start, and I'll talk about that soon. I also bought this one here. So this one is the blue batik swirl bag. Look at this purple trim. You got the purple and the blues with the swirls here. Same colouring on the back, or it's mine. I know how much Laura and I like the same sort of bags. On the inside, we've got these polka dot like mermaid shells fabric hexagons. Again, it has the zipper on the inside, so I really like that, and it's really pretty. And yeah, well, just so many new bags that I like. Alright, so also while I was perusing and shopping at Silks for You, there's been a couple of silks I've had my eye on for the last little bit. And a couple of them have ideas of projects already where they're going to go. But because of the sale, I kind of decided, you know what, I'm just going to buy them. Just going to buy them. So let me just get these all. They might have a bit of crinkling because I kind of got them out of the bags but near the bag, so I know which number they are in. But I bought this pattern last year when I was over for the Show Me retreat in Missouri from CC's, and it's called, I think it's Rosetta by Ink Circles. And on the book they had it actually as a show model, so I can, you can frame it like this, you can frame it this way. But when I look at this, I'm actually doing it completely different. Kind of same colorway, but instead of doing it on the even like the natural color, I'm going to use this brilliant fabric. I mean, look at that fabric, look at that color. Isn't it just gorgeous? So it's like the same fabric color as what the threads that they have there. Do you see what I mean? But I've always had in my mind that I'd like to try and use silk for the first time. So for this one, I ordered some natural. So this is what the natural color is. So it's the natural hank of silk for this pattern. So I'm going to stitch the, instead of stitching the colour on there, I'm going to use it in the silk and then use my fabric as the outside colour. And I think that is just a perfect match in heaven. I've never used silk before, so I'd love any advice that you have. I have gone and already watched Jan Hicks's video about how to cut the skeins up into and separate them out, so I'll do that. But this is going to be another start, hopefully by the next time I come into the video. So I have a light right in front of you, so it's very shimmery. But isn't that just gorgeous on this piece of fabric? So this fabric is, for those of you who would like to know, was my September 2018 monthly fabric, and it's called Red as the Rose, and all my fabrics are 32 count Lugana. So that's that one. Again, I'm going to put it straight back in the bag so I don't lose it or lose which bag it is in, and it also doesn't get dirty. But also, if you have any suggestions about how to store silk while you're not using it, or even when you are using it, I would love them, please, just so that I can keep these as gorgeous as they possibly are. Now, I have made a big fabric order, which is still on the way, so I have fabric coming for this. And this is actually going to be a long dog sampler that I'm going to do. Earlier this year, Long Dog Samplers released a new one called Anzac, which is representing both Australian and New Zealand stitches. I'll put a photo here somewhere, and I just loved it. I saw it and I thought I need to stitch that. It just calls to me so much, especially since my grandfather was in World War II, and he went and fought over in Egypt and Bora Bora and Middle East. And he also actually then came back and wasn't supposed to go back out to war again, and then was caught up and actually went and fought over in New Guinea. So it brings back memories, and I'd like to stitch the Anzac, which represents both Australian and New Zealand, but also stitch it in memory of him because I never met him. Now, as soon as I saw that, I went looking on Silks For You site about what colours I might like, and this one just automatically came to mind about what I wanted to stitch on. So I'm going to use my board and just look at these colours. So we've got the gold, so I think of our wattle with these golds. We've got the brown, so in summer it's always brown, like always really brown with the dirt, and then you've got this green as well. So it's not like a really goldy lime green, not lime green, emerald green, but it's still, this silk reminded me so much of Australia. And I thought, well, I'm going to stitch on this. So I have some fabric coming, which I'll show you with you next time. And I'm actually going to tea dye it, so it's like a light tanny colour, not really too dark. But just look at those colours. Isn't that gorgeous? That's better. This one here is, what number is it? 114 from Silks. Oh god. You laugh at me or you like with coordination here. 114 from Silks For You. And it just reminded me so much of like just living in Australia and with our colours. Again, I'm going to put this away so little paws don't get it, because she was very interested when I opened it up the first time. As you can all imagine, like young cats are like. Currently she's asleep. Alright, I'm going to leave that one to last because that's my favourite one out of all of these. And I know what I'm going to stitch with it already, but I'm going to leave that to last. I also decided just to get another couple of colours. So I did, because they, on their site they have, like, you can buy 5 and get 1 free. So I kind of bit the bullet and just bought 5 and got 6. But this one here is a lovely aqua blue. And on the site I thought it had some variation with the actual, like, the light blue to a deeper blue. But it's actually more solid. So I'm actually probably going to use this one more for some bobbin lace, I think. This one is PR041. And I just love that colour. I have a couple of shirts and jumpers in this colour, and it's just like that cobalt blue. Really, really pretty. Just look at the sheen and the shine on that. Again, I wanted to try these out and just see what the silks were like. And they are just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Of course, they come all nicely packed, and then you open it up and you just can never pack it the way that it came. You will know why I love this one. This one is PR145. And it matches my jumper. So I'm gonna need to use the board for this one. Goes between those purples and those teals. You've got teals and you've got the blue teals, and you've got these purples. So like a light purple and then a deep purple. Isn't that pretty? As I said, exactly like my jumper. See? Like my jumper. I I really need a piece of fabric that's dyed the same way as my jumper is dyed, with between these teals and these purples. But that is gorgeous. Again, like, I love all of these. This one is 110. You know by now my favourite colour is purple. So this is like between a pink and a purple. As you go through the different colours. Again, same as my shirt. But you've got like the light hot pinky here, the magentas, and there's a light pink and a purple. The colours are kind of showing through. Yeah, there's better for that one there. So this is like the lighter section, and this is normal rich section. I love that. Really love that variegation between those colours. Lastly, my favourite one out of the whole 6 that I've bought, and I'm going to do the Pandemic that was released by Long Dog in this one. So again, I have fabric coming for this one. It is PR 148, so 148, and it goes between the purples to pinks and blues. Isn't that wicked? Look at that colouring. I mean, if you didn't know me, how did you not know I was going to get this one? Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I just love it. So what I need to do is I need to make sure that I can cut the skeins in an appropriate way so I can show the variegation. And I think I'll probably keep using the thread drops maybe. I need to go back and rewatch the video because it's going to be interesting to see if I can cut it so it kind of blends in with the variegation, so maybe from there to there. I don't know. I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and actually try it and give it a shot. So that's all of the stash from Silks From You. I also did receive the retreat in a box, and again I've mentioned that, so go back and look into that video because that shows about it, and of course we had Chloe and I together. I'm still waiting on quite a lot of monthly fabrics from Colour Cascades due to supply issues. I've talked to Tammy about it, and it's not now just because of postage, but it's actually because the supplies are just been on container ships. So my last monthly order from her was in February 2020. So I've got 5 months missing. I'm getting a little bit on edge about it, but I really hope that I get some nice fabrics in soon. And then I did Chloe and I did a big order together from Sell It All because we needed to buy some fabrics because some things we're going to start together. Which then is a perfect lead into Plans. So Plans is definitely going to continue working on the Nativity. I want to get, as I said, want to get that close to a finish so that I can finish it during the Frogworks retreat. Once the fabric arrives, I'm going to start the Ravenclaw emblem with Chloe, and I'll put a photo here of what that is. Because I'm always in between two houses. I'm between Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. And yeah, what I should say though is I definitely do not agree with any of the comments that JK has actually said, and perfectly stated as someone else saying that Harry Potter the franchise does not belong to her at all. It belongs to us now, and she is now she who must not be named. So I will still stitch all the Ravenclaw and everything that I love to do, but she's the person who's not to be named. So I'll start the Ravenclaw once my fabric comes in. Chloe and I are both starting on the same fabric. We now, I think, have fabric for all 4 of the houses, so we'll stitch all of them and we'll hang them up. I'm doing them individually. I think Chloe's going to try and maybe frame them together. I'm not sure. I'm going to keep them separate. In that order, I also have some more fabrics to finish off to do the seasonal samplers for Dinky Dyes, so I want to get them started. Then from Frogworks, Katie and Lara released the pattern exclusive early, and it's actually emailed into our email. I got a PDF copy emailed to me today, and oh my god, it looks amazing. So I have there's 7 parts of the pattern, and they've just released the first one, so I'm going to show you on my phone. We'll see how we go with the brightness. And so she's released the first one, and it's kind of like a band sampler. So this is what it is here, and look at those colors. Isn't that amazing? Go to their account, go and watch their video, because Laura showed the model of it last week. I'm going to be stitching it in all the DMC colors, and I'm going to stitch each year on a different piece of fabric. So I was able to buy 2 pieces of fabric, and I'm going to cut one of them up, and I have perfect amount what I need, and that's already on the way. So my aim is to, as soon as I get my fabric, to start it so that I can put the last couple of stitches in again during retreat, because then we get extra points for our house. Challenging Athena, we're both going to be doing it. I also have those fabrics from Long Dogs coming in to start the Long Dogs and the ink circle. So I just want to start all the things. My mania is not mania. I'm just going to go, yep, okay, I'm in the mood. I'm going to start this now. Oh, okay, maybe I'm going to start this now. I'm just in the mood to stitch and get everything started, regardless if it's not there. I mean, if it's sitting in my stash and not started, or if it is started, what's the difference? I do next year though plan to join the virtual stitches in actually doing their no new start. So kind of need to get some more things going. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So the last thing I wanted to talk about before I head into knitting, because the rest of the video is going to be a lot about knitting, is I want to thank you all for being subscribers. But the title of this video is, it's actually been 3 years since I started my Flosstube channel. I know, can you believe it? I've been filming for 3 years. I can't. Like, I love filming, and I think like it's brought me a little bit out of my shell. When I first started, that was in 2017, no, 18, whatever, okay, brain's not working. I still hate being on video. I still hate having photos taken of me, and I wanted to see everyone who was doing Flosstube and said, okay, I want to join that, but I also want to prove to myself that I can film a video and actually talk for that long time without feeling so self-conscious, as a way to give my confidence up. And I'm actually proud of myself, of where I've come and how I'm doing these videos. I love doing these videos. I need to make sure I can get them a bit more regularly than every 2 months, and maybe try and get back to monthly, or maybe I might just have to do it weekly, then they may be shorter. But I really want to thank everyone who has supported or watched my videos all the way through this year. Like over the last 3 years. It's been a roller coaster. We've gone through lots of different things, and I just want to thank people for that. So as a way to thank you and to celebrate 3 years, I'm actually going to do a giveaway. But because I don't want to ship anything, I'm doing it a little bit differently. So my giveaway is actually going to be for a gift certificate to any online store of your choice. And it's open up to everyone. So I have a couple of, it's a little bit different because I got different conversion rates. But for anyone who's in either Australia or New Zealand, I'm going to give away $75 a gift certificate to any store that you like. Either online or that can do gift certificates, so I can easily just do a transfer. If you're over in the US, because the conversion rates, it's going to be $50 into whatever store that you want that does gift certificates, and people who are over in the UK, $40, because that all kind of equals out about the same exchange rate for myself. But yeah, I really like you to give that away as a way to say thank you for supporting my channel and supporting this all the way through. To do this, I want to make sure that you are a subscriber, please. That you subscribe to my videos, that you're over the age of 18. So all the regular rules, don't say giveaway in the comment. If you do, I will delete your comment. but I would like you to answer one question. That question is, what is the one thing on your wish list that you want to buy right now? What is the most favourite thing you want? And the term I'm going to look for in the comments is wish list. But what is on your wish list right now that you want to buy? And I'd love to know, because I always want to be enabled, and I'm sure everyone else wants to be enabled as well by what you want to buy at the moment. But yeah, again, I really wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who has supported my channel over those last 3 years. And this is the easiest way I thought to do that, rather than having to try and wait for postage in the situation that's happening at the moment. So again, what is the one thing you want the most off your wish list at the moment? I'm going to be searching for the term wish list. Please be a subscriber. Please make sure you're over the age of 18 or you have parent permission. Australia, New Zealand would be $75 gift certificate. US will be $50. UK $40. I think Canada's actually the exchange rate to Australia is the same, so same as Australia. But yeah. So the rest part of my video is all about knitting, and I've done a lot of knitting. So I know that not many people are only here for the cross stitch, so if you just want to stick to the cross stitch, that's fine. I'll see you next time. But I've actually done quite a lot of knitting, so in the last couple of weeks. It's just been something I've been able to pick up and put down. And I have a finish. I finished something with my knitting. So my finish is not blocked, but it's finished. And it's even got the ends weaved in from some help from my mum. Is my Garden Sprout Shawl by the Sweater Collective. This was on fingering weight yarn, so it's on Kaleidoscope by the Colour Collective. I started this last year on the 4th of June with a friend who helped me do the provisional start on, because I've never done that before. And I finished it on the 15th of June this year. And you can see my stitch marker here. That's where I was up to last time. So it's this really gorgeous pattern. So you start off with a whole heap of, let me just lay it across like this. There we go. It needs to be blocked. But it's got this garter stitch pattern here. The border is like an eyelets on the edge. And we have a lace pattern. So we've got this lace pattern here. And then we got another garter stitch grid, garter stitch ridge. Second lace pattern, another garter stitch. This pattern for lace is the same as this one up here. Another 10 rows of garter stitch and a bobble edge border. Oh my god, that is I love the border, but it took me so long to knit, and it's curling on the sides at the moment. But look at those bobbles. That took me like 2 or 3 days just to do the bobble border, just itself. So I know it's taken me a year to knit, but it's because I kind of cross stitch is my main hobby, so I pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. But it was good just plain knitting here. The lace was actually quite easy to do. I've never so this is what it looks like up close. But since I last filmed, I've actually done probably about 26 rows or so from what you can see from there. And then of course you got the bubbles. I think it's gorgeous. It needs to grow a lot. It needs to stretch to actually show that lace. You can see a bit of it that way, but it needs to get a lot deeper. I ended up with like over 300 to 400 stitches on the end of my needles. And you can see how long it is. So it's more long than wide, but I'm so pleased to have that done. It was just amazing. The needles I use, so for the main part of the body of the shawl, like the knitting and the lace, was done on a 4.5 mil needle, which is I think a US size 7. And then for the bobble body, you actually changed down to a 4 mil, which is the US size 6. And I am so happy and pleased to have that done. I just need to block it. We're in winter, so it's kind of cold and we don't really have any good days at the moment to get it blocked. Then actually a couple of days ago, because I finished that last week, I had a new start. I had to start something. And this is going to be on, it's a lace weight yarn, and it's on Nemo's Mum. That's what it's, just this nice colour. I actually have 2 of these because it's a really big shawl. In my, again, Harry Potter bag, so different one. I have 2 skeins. Here it is. It is 75% merino and 25% silk. So it's like a quite, oh my god, the yarn is so slippery. It takes a while to get used to. But this one is the In the Dunes wrap by Curious Handmade. I'm just going to say I started it yesterday. It might have been a day before. I didn't actually write down what day I started it. And I've been able to do the first lace repeat. There you go. You can kind of see. So it's a nice shawl. You can actually see that it's starting to make this wave pattern by the tensioning of how it's coming together. So I've done, I think this is about the first lace repeat out of 6. And I did that yesterday. I love the way her patterns are written. They're written so clearly. There you go. Her patterns are written really clearly about how to do it, and it's in like a box, so I kind of like use Goodreader and highlight it. But I like this, and it does not get any wider than this. At the moment it stays at that same width. It just gets longer. So I can't wait. I actually probably might do some knitting tonight, later on tonight, once I'm finishing and waiting for this video to upload. But I've done 1 lace repeat and I have more to go. Then again, most of my stash, it kind of came in 3 days, but most of my stash out of this whole video has been knitting. So I've got it all in one bag, which is part of my haul. But first, I'll go into plans after I've done stash. Part of my stash is I bought another of the tips. So I used the Chigos lace tips, and I bought another one of the 6mm because I plan to start another project in the next couple of days. Alright, so first sort of stash is from the Sexy Knitter. She has a website as well as an Etsy store. I also follow her on Instagram. And I decided I wanted to try out some mini skeins just to get my head around them and see what they're like. They're also all Harry Potter themed. So this one here is, they call the magical mini skeins, and this one's the educational degree number 37. Comes with a sticker, and I have all of those colours in there. So they're, again, my colours. I love them. Of the different lace weights, no, different yarn weights in there as well. Is it yarn weights or is it? No, I think it's the consistency of the yarn. But look at those colours. They're gorgeous. And then I also picked up this one. This one's called Unbridged Office. Yet another sticker. I thought these were a really good price, even when converting to Australian to be sent over, and the postage was really good. So I thought those together were a great colour set. And I need to look into maybe some patterns that deal with mini skeins. I don't know, if you got any of your favourite mini skein patterns, could you let me know what they are so that I can go and look and search them up. Sorry, I had a tangle with one of these. I also just had an interruption. So she also has stitch markers, but they're as like bracelets. So you can either use them as stitch markers or they use them as charms. And this one here is about Mary Poppins. So we've got a whole heap of different charms. We've got a boot. I'll put a photo in later on in here about them, but there's a boot. There's her handbag, one that says practically perfect in every way. Superfragilisticexpialidocious. I can't say that. So this one's all about Mary Poppins. And you can see all the different charms. Really good price for how many charms you get. She has so many different ideas. Sorry, they've all been, there we go. So many different ideas about what to do. And then the other one I got was Beauty and the Beast. So all based around the original as well as the Emma Watson movie. Tale as Old as Time. You got the mirror, they got the cup, Lumiere, and I love them. At the same time, I also had put in an order for the Tiny Toadstool Cottage, which is a Australian dyer, I think based in Victoria somewhere from the top of my head. So from her I ordered her, she does sets of like mystery sets of a progress keeper and stitch marker. So this one is of a butterfly with the stitch markers up here, and I'm going to be using that stitch marker progress keeper for one of my upcoming shawls that I'm about to start. Whoops. But I know that you can also probably use these as zipper pulls. And then I ordered her Mystery Yarn Club, and this one was based on the Little Mermaid. So this yarn is a fairy fingering, is 100 grams. There was also a mini, which is the red one, and it's called, the main one is I Will Dare Everything, and the mini is Red Rose. So I put them all together. Let me take out this one. This was an extra. So this was the Yarn Club set. So you have this red rose for like Ariel's hair for the Little Mermaid, but it was also based around like the blood of her feet from the original fairy tale. My cat is awake. Thank God the door's closed. And then you have this lovely skein, which is the greens and the blues and hints of red. It also came with a progress keeper of a mermaid's tail. And then also from there was another 10 gram mini skein of Rainforest put in as well. And it's both really soft, and these are all stellina, so they're actually really shiny. You can see that glimmer coming through. Yikes. Still got more to go. This comes into plans, so I'm actually going to start a new shawl probably tomorrow or so. I did read once I am able to cake up my yarn without a little pause kind of coming in and playing. So it might be tomorrow night or Monday, depending on how we go. But this is all from the Happy Hank store. And again, Helen Stewart of the Curious Handmaid has released a mystery knit along. So I've never done one of those before. And this one's all about stillness, which is perfect for this time at the moment. So she, I subscribe to her newsletter, and she always sends out a newsletter normally every week. She talked about the shawl, and then with the shawl she had different yarn companies who'd made kits from different areas around the world. So she had ones for US, for UK, for England, and also for Australia, so that you could actually buy locally so that you can get your yarn in time. So this is all from the Happy Hank, and I bought the kit for the Stillness shawl, and the kit was number 2. And thankfully she's already labelled which colour was which, because my brain. And this is the kit colours that I bought. There we go. So we've got like this lavender colour here, a more fuchsia colour, and then this variegated colour. And so that's what I'm going to do my kit in, and oh, I love those colours, and I think that's going to be really, really pretty. I've never changed colours before in a shawl, so I'm going to have a bit of fun learning how to do that. This is colour A. For me, the colourway is Royal Orchid. It is fingering single, which the base is 65% superwash merino, 25% yak, and 15% silk. So that should drape really nice. I love that colour. So that's my colour A. My colour B is lavender, which is fingering single, which is 100 grams, and the base is light, which is 100% superwash merino. a very light lavender to a grey colour. That's my B. And my C colour is this one, which is called Witchcrafts. Again, a fingering light superwash merino. Isn't that just gorgeous? So again, third colour A, B. How do people coordinate and do this? A, B, C. I love that already. So I need to skein those up and get started because the first clue was actually released on Thursday. And I've had a look through the pattern. I got a little stuck about how to start, but I found a video to actually do that I-cord cast on and start. So I'll be watching that at the same time as starting it, so I know what to do. And then I need to learn how to change colours easily. But because of that, I then decided, well, I have these smaller project bags, but I don't have a big project bag. And with the 3 skeins of wool, yarn plus a shawl, I'm like, yes, no, I'm going to need a slightly bigger project bag. So I went on Etsy, and again, I've been trying to get most things from Australia just to support the Australia makers. And this is from Joka Mamo. I'll put the name here because I can't say it. And this is a glittery butterfly project bag. And it's purple and it's got butterflies. Match made in heaven. So it's nice deep. So it's a nice deep bag. So it actually will fit all 3 skeins in there. It even has a zip on the inside. Let's see if I can get the light to go in. So it has a dividing, here we go, the dividing zip on the inside, so I can actually put like extra notions in there if I need to, so extra needles or like the ends. Or I can even have 2 projects on either side because it's got that dividing in the middle. But just because you buy a project bag doesn't mean a project bag can travel alone. So I bought another skein of yarn, and I've actually had this one in my favourites list on Etsy for a while, and I just couldn't quite justify getting it. But then I saw her bags, and I'm happy to go back and buy these bags and then send them to people or keep them myself for like projects and coming up, because this bag is amazing. But okay, this yarn is called Cosmopolitan, and it's 75% merino wool, 20% nylon and 5% stellina. And again, it's 100 grams, and it's made, the wool's from Australia, and it's also hand dyed in Australia. Oh yeah, there's her name. Isn't that gorgeous? So, funny story though about these is, first off, the bag and this yarn came in on the Monday. The next day, the hanks from Happy Hank came in for my Curious Handmade shawl. The stillness, that was on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, the silks for you arrived. So the postie got to know me very quite well. After that, it was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I got things in. And again, still waiting for some fabric for cross stitch. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing for the past 2 months, is mainly a bit of knitting, so I finished a shawl, started a new one, and a lot of cross stitching. But again, if you have stayed for the whole video, so thank you. I love being on here and I love sharing with you, and I need to make more time to come back here more regularly. That will be one of my goals this year, is to come back monthly. But what do you think? Do you think I should just come back and keep doing videos like this, or should I try and do some vlogs? I was even tempting to do a vlog maybe of starting the shawl and maybe doing my progress that way and tacking it on, because I've never done a mystery knit along that way, and then it means kind of keeps a bit more secret towards the end for people. Don't know, let me know. Again, if you have questions, I'm always happy to ask any questions about the way I stitch my heids or the way I set up my stitching spot. It's a little hard sometimes to video until mum and dad go to bed because I'm still at home, but I'm happy to go through things like that. Remember to enter the giveaway if you'd like to win an opportunity to have a gift certificate to any online store that I can get a gift certificate for. Australia, New Zealand, possibly Canada, 75, I think, because of the conversion rates. US $50 and UK $40. Probably the same for yeah, from there. But if you remember so if you like to do that, enter for that. Again, the question was, can you tell me something on your wish list that you want to buy right now? Because I'd love to be enabled. I don't need to spend more money, but I love to be enabled. Please make sure you're a subscriber. Please make sure that you are over the age of 18 and don't say give away new comments. And I love doing this, and I want to say thank you for being with me over these 3 years, because I can't believe it's now been 3 years. I tried to film on the 17th, but I just, again, work got to a hold of me. So I wanted to do that, but I couldn't. But again, all the links will be down below. If you've got questions, ask. Thank you again so much. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you again next time. Bye.